Hi, it is iYikKam time again. So today I got a message from our Wing Chun friend asking me to share about uh, what is a sifu, and even though I going for the Western University education type of way, what is a sifu? So he want to understand what do I understand on sifu, what is it about. Seriously, I never want to talk much about the sifu stuff because there's a lot of things inside there, in-depth stuff. What is good to talk about something which is we or most of us cannot do it. Okay. Even though I was a Western trained engineer, okay, educated in America, but I also know clearly the ancient Chinese culture. And actually, I'm pretty traditional if it comes to that part of my life. So today I'm going to tell you, to share with you what I know about sifu. Okay, sifu is like a father, and also it is like an expert in an art. Sifu is not just somebody who learns some set or can fight or those kind of stuff. It is practically like a master artist in the West. Say somebody who really good in the art, be it music or portrait or painting, so forth. Okay. Sifu has to responsible for his students and has to responsible for the style he is teaching. So he has to responsible for his students' achievement and the continuity of the styles. Okay. So a sifu has to has a good understanding of the martial arts in terms of a martial arts sifu has to have a good understanding of martial arts, the science of the martial arts, and then he has to have experience in kung fu, meaning the development of the kung fu or the attainment of the kung fu. And then he has to have the sublimation of the cultivations. Okay, sublimations. So meaning it be able to reach advanced states. And then he has to have the rich experience in life, in living, because the expressions of a sifu on his art will be directly proportional to the experience of his living. So that experience and living actually show the level of his art. Okay. It's directly proportions, and at last, of course, is the modak, or the virtue or moral of the art. Okay, or himself. This is not something simple. This is really deep and advanced stuff. And if you talk about the gatekeeper, is even much advanced or higher state, because one need to have the quality of the sifu, as what I mentioned before, and also be able to like today's CTO or CEO in the corporations, be able to expand the company or grow the company. So this is not just what you see in the movie. Okay, it has this depth, deep depth. Okay, the broad and the advanced, the quality. Okay, so it's like a top quality musicians, real master of the music. It has to be that level. So what I've been telling you here is very, maybe it's abstract. So let's bring it into reality, okay? Because a part of a sifu is also to bring the ideas or the abstracts into reality. Okay, so we talk about the science or the understanding of martial art. A sifu must know. Well, there's equivalent to the sixth core element. One, be able to summarize the science of it, the bottom line, the key, the core of it. Okay, so one know very clearly what it is. It is a science, on the understanding of the martial arts. And of course, the science have no end to it. Even though we know, say, for the six core elements, say we know the six core element, but there's still so much. There's the deep stuff inside there. This six core element alone. Okay. People say, for example, people who know how to have a long fist, they might be expert in that, in those science and so forth, but they still have to know about the sword strike and the wrestling, grappling, whole bunch of stuff. So it's not something really surface or really narrow. As for the Kung Fu, okay, the attainment of the Kung Fu or the experience of Kung Fu, that is like the 13th state. How many states one have attained? Okay. It is, you say iYikKam, what state have you attained? Without that, how can you teach? Okay, so there's the quality of the sifu. As for the cultivations of sublimations, well, it is like I usually talk about this mind and breathing and how it get into the Anapanasati, the Srangama Sutra, and how you see that thing totally from this martial arts, the six core element, it sublimate into the cultivations of the enlightenment. And it is not just philosophy, it has its technology and its skill and its pathway. Okay, you have to have that. Okay, it's not just like, oh yeah, I just practice that. No, even in Hermes Zhuang, if you look at it, even if reached the 9th state, okay, the 9th level of Hermes Zhuang, still it doesn't reach the sublimation yet, because the sublimation meaning that it has to enter the Tathagata's four wisdom, and you have a 9th state. You arrive at the 9th state Kung Fu, good. But so what? You don't have the sublimation. You cannot enter to the wisdom or the core of the Hermes Zhuang, which is actually the enlightenment or the Tathagata's four wisdom. Okay. So that is how deep it can go. Okay. And as you see, for the sublimation, it relates to a word called realizations. And anybody who have the sublimations level or state, things will become more and more clear and simple. So in the Chinese, there's a term they call 返璞归真, meaning that it returned to innocence. Anything which looks really tough for them is simple. Like, like for example, the Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. The music is simple, but is endless. Okay, so those type of level, and this type we're talking about the enlightenment and so forth. Those are not just philosophical; those are attainment. Okay, and they have attainment and they have sublimation to the top. Okay, where if we are not there, we not be able to understand what the heck's going on, because they need experience, attainment, and sublimations. And then you talk about the presentations of your art. If you don't have the life experience, a real rich life experience, like if people who, for example, who have going down to the valley and going to the peak of the Mount Everest, okay, and or the deepest of the sea, have been in the deepest of the sea and the peak of the Mount Everest, the way or the thing which is they present to you is different, because it is like a very widescreen, super high definitions televisions, three-dimensional television. It's not just like a black and white portrait. So only people who have those experiences be able to present their art with life. Okay, again, it's like the Moonlight Sonata. It's simple, but it is deep, and it's like a Beethoven, right? It be able to show you what is like in the Fifth Symphony, and also what in the Moonlight Sonata. And same thing as what Picasso can show, how simple the drawing, a few strokes, and see it can show so much, express so much. And also like the Van Gogh, it can use so much, so many color, but everything looks lively. No, not complicated, but it's good, right? So you have that. And as the motak, or the virtue or moral, is basically, practically is based on the precepts, like in the Buddhism precepts. Okay, well, we want people to take that, hold the precepts. So anybody who take the precepts, the teacher will ask them, okay, until the end of your life, will you be able to hold this? Say, for example, not killing. Okay, the precept of not killing. Can you hold your precepts until the end of your life, not killing? And just to answer yes, that require a lot of discipline and a lot of willpower and a lot of stability in mind. It's not something joking. Okay. So the quality of sifu is such. And you said about the gatekeeper, that is even more advanced level. So that is the part, okay? The quality of the sifu and what the sifu do, and so that's what I want to share with you today. We are far away from that. Okay, that's why I say it's better to go for the Western educations, not just, oh, I want to be grandmaster. You are a grandmaster or what? Under those kind of quality, it's practically nothing if you compare with the usual so-called grandmaster with those kind of quality of the ancients. Okay, that's all for you guys today.